Law Talk with Nick Maruchak, thanks to MKI Legal, your trusted employment and family lawyers.
I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
Nick joins us in the studio right now. Nick, nice to meet you. This is the first time you and I have met. Good to meet you, mate. 5 years of general practice as a lawyer as well, hey, early in the career?
Yep, that's where I first started. Just did everything I could get. Working at a general practice firm, Lynn & Brown Lawyers. It's just a really great place to dig your heels into everything. And then I went and specialised in employment law for the last decade.
Yeah, all right. I mean, we're here to take calls. So given your vast experiences, people can call it anything they like, right?
Yep. Yeah,
133 882 if you'd like to speak to Nick this morning. This is our Law Talk segment. We have a couple of texts. And I know you've got a story about a scam and a hack, which we'll talk about in just a sec. Carl's phoned in. Hi, Carl.
Yeah, hi there.
G'day, mate. Fire away.
Yeah, Nick, thanks for taking my call. And just it's more about retention monies held by developers more than anything. I've been involved in a building that was built 4 years ago. The developer was holding back retention money to fix any defects by the builder, obviously. Since then, the builder has gone broke, and we have now discovered a defect that is going to cost the owners approximately $3 million.
Ooh.
Now, we've gone back to the developer, who appears to be refusing to use any of the retention monies held to contribute towards this fix. So I'm just wondering, do we have any case against the developer here?
Could you tell me a little bit more about the developer's involvement? So what kind of organisation are you involved with?
We bought off the plan. The developer actually lives in the building and has retained 20% of the building. What else would you like to know?
Okay, so is that a strata company involved? Are you?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yeah.
So the strata company. So the first thing is, what kind of have you ever do a review of the insurance policies that exist? Because there are insurance policies if a builder goes under. They are limited though. They have a cap of around $250,000. So that is, that's not going to cover your $3 million.
No.
So there also might be, you might get lucky and you might have other insurances that might cover that. Have you done a review of the insurances to see if there's anything in the policies that could protect you?
I believe the strata was looking into that, but it's more about this retention money. If a builder goes broke, does the developer get to keep that retention money?
So that one is, you have to look at the terms of the contract between. Is there anything specifically in the contract between the developer and yourself?
No, not in regards to that. We are asking for the contract between the builder and the developer, which she is refusing to hand over.
So that one on top of my head is a difficult one, because I want to have a look at the contract. I also, because the developer's gone broke, the builder's gone broke, yeah, and they've had defective work. So what you normally go to the building commission or SAT to target the builder to get their SAT can make an order against the builder, but the builder's broke, so you can't, that's going to be the difficult part. So it comes down to the developer's contractual obligation, what's in there, what they were responsible for. So what I can do is maybe give you a call off air, Carl, and have a closer look at it and see if I can point you in the right direction. But this is something that I recommend you would want to speak to a construction lawyer on. You want to get a legal opinion on. This is a $3 million valuable case, and there could be a liability potentially against the developer.
Thanks,
right.
Thanks, Carl. Well, might need to take that one offline, Carl. Thank you, mate. Thanks, and good luck. That's heavy, isn't it? $3 million. Wow, we'll put you in contact with Nick from MKI Legal. Rob, g'day. How you going?
Good. How you going, Simon?
Good, mate.
Good.
Yeah, so Rob was actually involved in a scam himself, and because I've spoken to Rob before, and recently there was a decision issued by a Supreme Court where there was a company that paid a $190,000 invoice, and they got an email from another company, and they paid the invoice to a scammer, and this company called Inotech then basically paid the money overseas somewhere, and this other company then tried to sue them and go, you didn't pay us the correct money. So there was a lawsuit between two companies about whether they have to pay this $190,000.
Where the responsibility lies.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the court actually found, District Court recently handed down a decision to say that the company who was scammed still has to pay the money to the original company. The court said that this company should have taken better steps to protect themselves against scammers.
Right.
So the victim here it has to pay the $190,000 again to this company.
Because their IT integrity was didn't meet a certain threshold.
Well, the company, so they got an email from the original company.
Yep.
And it wasn't them sending, it was a fraudster. So the court said that the victim company should have taken better steps to check before paying such a large amount. And it's a very surprising decision. It's a terrible decision. But the thing is, there are laws that protect individuals, right? Under the Privacy Act, there are laws that say that if your personal information has to be protected and kept secure by organizations that earn more than $3 million, right? So this company wasn't covered by the privacy laws, right?
Yeah.
So
where does which is Rob the crew that received the fraudster email with that?
So Rob actually has a story, and I think it's a great story to warn everyone. Rob is actually has been involved in a scam himself when he was buying a car, and I love Rob to tell the story.
Yep.
And it really just
far away, Rob. Tell us.
Yeah, no, Simon, we went to purchase a new vehicle. So we went in, spoke to the salesman, left the dealership. The salesman rang us. We negotiated a price for the vehicle over the phone. We paid the dealership $1,000, which I paid deposit out of my debit card.
Yep.
So with the rest of the money to be paid when the contract gets signed and approved. So a few days later, the salesman emails back and says, look, how do you want to pay the rest of the money? I said, look, I'll get your bank details and I'll give you a bank check. The salesman emails back and says, look, at the moment we're not accepting bank check. Can you please electronically transfer it? So I said, yeah, no worries. We'll do that. He sends me their account details, which was their dealership and a legitimate NAB account. And I went ahead and transferred $40,500 for the vehicle. So 5 days later, the salesman rings me and says, hey, can you ring your bank? My computer's been hacked. It's not me sending the emails.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, the money's gone.
Far out.
And I said, wow, it's gone. So 3 days later, I get a return from the NAB bank, which is the dealership's bank, of $20,510. So we're still out of pocket $20,000 plus $1,000 deposit. So that's where we are. I mean, the police investigation uncovers that this dealership was hacked by numerous locations offshore. So we're out of pocket all of that money. I mean, I sent the money to the account they gave me, which was the account numbers had been changed because the hackers had got into the salesman's computer system and changed the details without them knowing, and they sent me the account details. I paid it, and they took the money. So we're out of pocket. The dealership doesn't want to know about it. They don't even want to turn my $1,000, which I paid with my debit card. So
So
we're stuck.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Nick?
So the interesting thing about this story is he's got an email directly from legitimate email address of the dealer. This wasn't like dealer@gmail.com, something spoofed, right? It was directly from them, and Rob paid it. So the difference between Rob's case and a business-to-business transaction is Rob is protected by the Privacy Act. So the question is, this business, this dealer, has a duty to keep Rob's personal information, which includes his email address, private and secure.
Gotcha.
The question is, did they take reasonable steps to keep that private and secure? If they didn't take reasonable steps, such as having good anti-scam, anti-fraud, all that kind of stuff in place, then the dealer is liable. So individual does have these protections, whereas this other business I mentioned doesn't, right? But the government is introducing new laws that haven't come into effect yet that will require banks and tech companies to protect themselves from scam. But at the moment, our scam laws, especially for individuals, they're difficult.
Has ramifications for small businesses too. Don't know how much protection can you put on your IT kit, for sure. Need to take a break, Nick. Stay listening, folks. This is Law Talk with Nick Marichek from MKI. Stay listening. Nick Marichek is with us from MKI Legal. Nick, Marichek, Maruchek? Maruchek. All right, I'll adjust that. Nick Maruchek with us from MKI Legal. G'day, Paul.
G'day, Simon. Thanks for taking my call.
No worries.
I've got a question for Nick. My daughter had a traffic accident November last year. Unfortunately, she didn't have any insurance that had lapsed. But the chap that ran into her didn't have a driver's licence and his car wasn't insured. Just wondering, is there anything we can do or pursue to try and get some money to help repair the vehicle, or is it just that's it, done?
Well, you can. So who was at fault? Just briefly, was
the chap that ran into her.
Okay, the chap that ran into her. So because your daughter didn't have insurance, obviously you report the accident to the police. That other person can get fined or charged for driving without a license. That's a matter for the police. You would need to then take steps to sue him in the magistrate's court. You can commence a minor case claim. You can say he was at fault. And your daughter will have to take steps to, sue him, get a quote for how much it would cost to repair the damage, and you have to go through that process. You got, there's a time period of around 6 years, I believe, to do it. So I reckon you should act quickly and just write to him first to say we're going to sue you, pay up, and he'll say I don't have any money or something like that. Well, you just kind of sue him, and that will affect his credit record. If there's a judgment against him, he won't have the ability to get a loan in the future for the next 7 years. So that might force him to pay up something, and you just try and get as much as you can out of him, and you can settle it at the mediation. So that's a lot. Just go to the magistrate's court and start a claim there.
Yeah. Good luck, Paul. Paul, keep us posted, hey? Let us know how you go.
Well, we tried to do that, but we were advised that we're wasting our time because he's got no money. He's just basically homeless. So we sort of I think maybe if we just give up, because all he's going to do is, like Nick said, he's going to get a fine, and, well, they can't take his licence off him because he hasn't got one.
Well, you're right.
So it's probably
Paul, if he's got nothing, then it's just absolutely no assets at all, then it's probably a waste of time. You're probably not going to get anything out of him. So, I wouldn't spend money on lawyers. I'll try to write to him to scare him a little bit, but see if that gives you something. But otherwise, it's just tough luck. That's it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If he's got nothing, you're not going to get anything. It's spending good money after bad.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. That's no good. Thanks, mate. Thanks for calling us. Wow, Jody's phoned in, and this is in your wheelhouse, I reckon, Nick. G'day, Jody.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Good.
Good to hear you back on the radio, Simon.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you.
I work for this company. I won't mention their name. And I'm contracted to full-time hours. And over the Christmas period, they've told us that if we've been finishing early, that if I want my money, if I still want a full-time wage, they were going to take that out of my holiday pay. Can they do that?
So they can't deduct your holiday pay unless you give them the consent, right? So what they've probably done is maybe you didn't have enough. Are you a casual or a full-time?
No, I'm full-time. I've been full-time there for 25 years.
Okay, so during the Christmas break, you couldn't. Why couldn't you work your full-time hours?
Because places were closed, so we were finishing early because we were running early. Yeah,
so that sounds to me says that if they're deducting from your annual leave without your permission, that is a breach of the Fair Work Act. So you can speak to them about that. I think they probably did it just because they wanted to kind of make sure you have your salary paid every week. But the other thing, if you're on a full-time salary, you should be getting the same salary every week. And if they don't have enough work for you, then they can't just not pay you. There's a special process you have to take for that. So I recommend you give the Fair Work Ombudsman a call, speak to them a little bit more about it. But it sounds like they've probably done the wrong thing, especially if they've deducted your annual leave without your permission. And that could lead to a fine.
Thanks, Jody.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jody. Good to hear from you. Thank you very much. Nick, we need to leave it there, mate. Thank you. Well done. We'll catch up with you next week. A couple of the texts and correspondence we didn't get to, we'll keep those and we'll bring those up next week. We'll hang on to them and have a chat to you about it next week. Well done, mate. What's the rest of the day? Back into the office or are you on holiday?
Back to the office. We're going to go to a buffet lunch today with the team and at Burswood, so I'm going to eat a lot and, I'm going to enjoy that.
The Burswood buffet, the Crown buffet. Yeah. How good and how fancy. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Simon.
Good on you. 3.5 minutes to 11.